The 2025 college football season is almost here, so it's time for some bold predictions. Stick around. Let's talk about it. This is Way Offsides. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Welcome in, Bama fans. Welcome into the rest of you to the best college football show on YouTube. We're heavy on the Bama content here, but we like to talk about everybody. So welcome. Before we go any further, do me a favor, go to the comment section, leave a comment with the team you rep. If it's Bama, leave a big Roll Tide. If it's Oregon, leave some ducks. You guys know the drill. Use the emojis. While you're there, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all the things. We'll be bringing you live reactions, analysis, recruiting news, everything you need to rep your team this fall. And you can get it all right here in one place. At Way Offsides. It's Way with 4 A's, never 3, never 5. Even Skip Bayless knows.
Way, this is all caps, W-A-A-A-A-Y, Way
4. Just like in the word Alabama. All right, let's get into it. The 2025 season is on the horizon. You can smell the meat on the smoker. It is almost time for us to sit in our easy chairs for 14 hours straight, drinking alcohol and screaming at finely tuned athletes who are 18 to 21-year-olds. College football season is almost here. And with it comes absolutely egregious hot takes. So we're going to run it. We're going to pretty much, this is going to be hot takes. Bold predictions, hot takes, same thing. So we're going to run it. So very hot. We'll run it. This video is brought to you by University Traditions. You can see up there in the that way. The Spin My Dollar hat, which I am rocking, just on backwards. It's a thing of beauty. Bama fans, go get you one at universitytraditions.biz. If you're not a Bama fan, guess what? They've got hats for you as long as you're in the SEC. They got some pretty good looking stuff. We've had Daily Joy on from SEC Pretty. You can go pick up one of hers too. All right, let's jump right into this. We're going to start off hot and heavy here. Hot and heavy in the sense of I'm going to take your breath away with my bold predictions for the 2025 season. Not hot and heavy in the other way because, quite frankly, I'm too tired and I have a headache. So let's start off. Number one, my bold prediction for the 2025 season, the much improved Florida Gators will make the SEC championship game. Now, somewhere they're sitting in the middle of the pack right now in terms of prediction to finish the season. They've got an insane schedule. It is it's brutal, but it seems to always be brutal for the Gators. It's like they don't ever catch a break. But they have to go, let's see here. They're going to LSU. They go to Miami. They get Texas at home. They go to Texas A&M, to Kentucky. They get Georgia at the, over there in Jacksonville. They got to go to Ole Miss, and then they host Tennessee and Florida State at home. That's tough stuff. But I fully believe in the DJ Lagway hype. Assuming that he can stay healthy, I think Florida has the pieces built around DJ Lagway. I think in Anderson's second year as a defensive coordinator there at the University of Florida, I think Florida is going to, maybe it's his third season. I think Florida will have it figured out on the defensive side of the ball. And there's just a new swagger around that program. If you follow their fans on social media, there's a confidence there. I honestly don't know where it comes from, but it's there. It's there. And so I think Lagway, and this would be assuming he stays healthy. I think Florida handles the gauntlet well enough. And they'll have to get some help from some SEC friends, but I think that they handle the SEC gauntlet portion of their schedule well enough to where they end up playing Alabama in the SEC championship game. Not Texas, not Georgia, not Tennessee, not Texas A&M, not LSU, friggin' Bama. Hey, that's my username on X. Be sure to go follow me, por favor. So there you have it. Sound off loud and proud about that one. I know you have strong opinions. The glory of this video is we get to go outside of the SEC a little bit, and we're going to talk about one of the most beloved figures in college football here, and that is Coach James Franklin of the Penn State Nittany Lions, former head coach of Vanderbilt. One might even say James Franklin was the catalyst that led up to Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt beating Alabama last season. He started the fire that is now Vanderbilt's quarterback going on national television and claiming that their goal is to win a national title. I apologize profusely on behalf of all Alabama fans that we allowed that conversation to even, that thought to even be processed and verbalized. I apologize profusely. We'll handle business this year. I think we get him in early October. We'll handle business. But let's go back to James Franklin at Penn State. James Franklin in a lot of crowds is very lovable. In others, he is obnoxious and people dislike him. I don't really care either way, but I think that Penn State, who is highly favored going into the season right now, will not make the college football playoff. I don't. Penn State right now in the coaches poll that was just released not long ago is sitting at number 3 behind Ohio State and Texas. They have to get through a pretty lackluster schedule, but I think the big games on their schedule they dropped this year, including Oregon and Ohio State. And I think they drop one along the way, maybe going over to Iowa, maybe Nebraska catches them with their pants down. But I just have this sneaky feeling that Penn State, who is one of those teams that is always super hyped by the media going into the preseason, is not going to whenever Penn State is good. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And I maybe some of these hot takes are meant to spur comments on the YouTube. Moving on. We'll go out of the Big Ten, not back to the SEC this year, but we'll jump over to the ACC, where the Clemson Tigers are highly favored amongst the mediocre Atlantic Coastal Conference. So much so the coaches poll has them sitting atop the ACC in preseason, representing the ACC in the coaches poll at number 6. At number 6, which I think Clemson's going to bring back a ton of talent, defensively speaking, offensively speaking. But much like LSU, I don't know, man. I don't necessarily think the talent is as good as the media wants you to believe, as the sports media world is buying into. And so with that, my hot take is that Clemson will lose the ACC title game and miss the playoff in 2025. Dabo, that's not all. I've got more. But wait, there's more. Dabo Swinney will hang it up after the 2025 season. That may be a little far-fetched, I admit. But it's bold takes, right? Not, here's what's probably going to happen takes. All right. Let's go back to the Southeastern Conference because, SEC. It just means more. Number 4 for you Bama fans out there. Go ahead and leave a big Roll Tide in the comment section because you're going to love this one. In Kalen DeBoer's second year with the Crimson Tide, Alabama will boast a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense, and they will get the job done and win it all. Kalen DeBoer has been extremely successful in his second year coaching, no matter where he's been. At Alabama, with the resources and the talent, he will get the job done and win Alabama's 19th national title, his first. I think he'll win potentially 2 or 3 before he leaves the Tide. But this year, Alabama will win the 2025 national title. I'm going to give you guys a second to digest that if you're not Alabama fans, because I get it. Hearing somebody say they think Alabama's going to win a national championship has got to be gut-wrenching and upsetting. I mean, I understand. I get it. You hate us. And Nick Saban's not there anymore, which means you hate us even more if we're still successful. But I'm telling you, last season was a little bit of a wash. There's some locker room issues, some toxicity there that has been ironed out. It's been cured. And I think this team has the pieces to do it all, barring significant injury. They've got the leadership. They've got the seniors. They've got the roster talent. They've got the coaches. They've got everything they need. The only thing up against them is their schedule, because there's some teams like Ohio State who have one of the most laughable schedules in the country. Alabama does not. And Alabama will start the season in good shape to do this, as they will start off via the coaches poll now at number 8. So they will be in prime position, especially if they're able to go into Athens and beat Georgia early on in the season. So there you have it. Alabama wins the 2025 national championship, and we stay in the SEC for the next 2. If we're going to talk about Alabama, why not talk about little brother? Similar to Clemson, but unlike Clemson, the passionate, loyal, faithful, always true, and highly unrealistic fans of Auburn will find themselves disappointed come December when Auburn does not make a bowl game in 2025, and they fired Hugh Freeze halfway through the season. Now, I get it. Jackson Arnold is supposed to be the second coming of Cam Newton, but so has every quarterback since Cam Newton. At Auburn, the closest that they've gotten was Nick Marshall. Auburn's schedule is much more difficult than our Big Ten friends, but compared to some other SEC schools, it is it's set up well. But I think Auburn loses week 1 on the road at Baylor. Obviously, they beat Ball State. I think South Alabama actually gives Auburn a close game. I think Auburn loses to Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Georgia. I think they lose to Missouri. I think they lose to Vanderbilt again, and then they lose to Alabama. Ooh! I said it sucks to be an Auburn Tiger. Staying in the SEC, Texas, the flavor of the college football season, the apple of Paul Feinbaum's eye, Arch Manning. Everybody's talking about Texas. Everybody's hype on Texas. They've accumulated and amassed an ungodly amount of talent there at the University of Texas at Lambeau U. Sarkisian is a offensive genius. I will give him that. But because of using NIL as their primary recruiting tool, it just does not click. And somewhere along the lines, the wheels fall off, and Texas loses 3 games this year, including losing to Florida, losing to Georgia, and losing that rivalry at the end of the season to Texas A&M. Ooh! That one stings, doesn't it, Longhorns fans? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Last but not least, let's go back up to the Big Ten, because they've been pretty successful the last couple of years. Michigan wins the national title. They cheat their way to one. Ohio State pillages their way to another. And now they feel like they have unseated the SEC as the premier conference in college football. Maintain that dominance over 20 years and then we'll talk. But I digress. Ohio State, your reigning national champ, possibly having the best offensive weapon and defensive weapon in college football on the same team, will lose to Michigan again. Now, because their schedule is so easy, they get Texas at home early. That's tough. I get it. But you're at your house. So you get we're going to give you a touchdown right off the top. But then they've got, hold your breath for this, Grambling State, Ohio of Miami, a surging Washington Huskies team, the Golden Gophers of Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin, Penn State, Purdue, UCLA. Nico gets to go up there to Ohio State and lose again. Rutgers, and then the Michigan game. Ohio State will lose to Michigan, make the playoff, and get embarrassed in the, we'll say the second round. They should get a bye. Let's assume they win the conference. To none other than your Alabama Crimson Tide. That's all I've got for you tonight, folks. Those are your bold predictions for 2025 Cottons. I'm sure Bill, Chris, Jeff, and Jay will have their own. Be sure to tell me what you think. If you've got a bold prediction for the 2025 season, leave it in the comment box below. I would love to read those. That would make my weekend. I have been sick for like 3 weeks straight, and that would make me feel better. So please, while you're there, make sure you're subscribed. That helps us out. You subscribe, we can bring you as much content as you want. We can bring you deep, ingrained analysis of the game, lots of recruiting talk, or just ridiculous bold predictions like this. You tell us what you like. We're here for you. We're of the people, for the people. And people, this is your show. Thanks for sticking around with me. You guys are the best. As always, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee to Roll Tide.